Hello and welcome to Convict Inc. It's been a minute since the video's been put out, right? I know some of you have counted me out, but you shouldn't do that, especially after next week. Anyway, if you like this video, please push like and share it with your family, friends, neighbors, enemies, etc. If you are not a member, think about becoming a member. There will be two different levels. Soon. Shouldn't say it next week is what I want to say, but we'll see when she does it. Otherwise, here we go. It's Monday. I'm going to do a live tonight. I don't know if this video will be posted today or tomorrow because YouTube might not let it happen. So we'll see. So here's the deal. Women's restrooms in men's prison. Also, female hygiene products in men's prisons. In 1990, I did 60-something days in the LA County jail system. The truth is, that's what actually started my prison career. I was busted on Catalina Island for sales charge, got a year, and did 60-something days on a year. And I got a probation violation. Anyway, while in that system, I was bussed from Biscaloo, I think it was called. I forgot the name of it. I think it was Biscaloo's. To LA County, where I cleaned the visitation restrooms. I had to clean the men's restroom and the women's restroom. And I need to say this right now. The women's restroom was 20 times more disgusting than the men's restroom. And I have seen this over and over and over again, not just on women's visitation or the visitation bathrooms, but female staff bathrooms. There are bathrooms for staff where just, it's co-ed, men and women both use the same restroom. Terre Haute, for example, they had bathrooms in the hallways, and that's what they did. But in other facilities, there women will use one and men will use one, and inmates are the orderlies. I hate to say this and just bring it up. I just can't believe how nasty the female bathrooms are, and that's staff too. I know this isn't the best subject, and this isn't just about the bathrooms. It's going somewhere else, going in the feminine hygiene products. But I just had to say that, and I don't know, from feces rings around the toilet to blood to throwing sanitary napkins out and missing the trash can. I don't understand it. I'm not a female, so maybe I'm missing something here. But very bad. And that's every institution that I've been in. Anyway, female hygiene products. I just looked up the history of female hygiene products, by the way, and it's actually pretty interesting. I'm not going to get into all of it, but in 1973, the Comstock Act was passed, making it a federal crime to distribute or sell pornography or conception-related materials or text in the United States. In response, the birth control industry coined the term feminine hygiene to advertise their repackaged OTC products. It goes on and on. You guys might just want to Google history of women's or female hygiene products. A bunch of stuff comes up. I mean, it's pretty crazy, actually. Kotex, a combination cotton and texture, landed in stores. This is 1920. Johnson & Johnson introduced Modus. Anyway, so it's something you guys might want to look up just for the hell of it, just for shits and giggles. Menstrual cups. They had cups that they can bleed into. Anyway, I'm getting off track. While I was at Butner 2, and that is from 2011 to 2012. So it was a couple of years I was in that institution. It was brought to my attention by an orderly in the hospital that there was a market for women's used hygiene products. I was in the hospital. I forgot what it was, but a friend of mine was the orderly, and he said, "Come here for a second." And this goes to the female bathroom. Open the bathroom. Smelled like crap. Somebody just left, and there was blood on the toilet and a tampon, used tampon, just thrown right on top of the trash can, just right there. And he showed me this, and I was like, man, it's crazy. So I've seen it at Leavenworth that it happened. There was a bathroom that only one female used, and somebody was the orderly and pointed this out. And I, again, in LA County. And I went back, and I was just like, man, it's like every prison I've been to, it's the same ordeal. And then this guy goes, he sees, by the way, while I'm there, a tampon, a used tampon. And he grabs his gloves and he picked it up and put it in a baggie. And I'm like, what the F are you doing, dude? He's like, man, that's money. I said, money? What the hell? Apparently, and this was the first I've heard out of any prison, there was a market for used feminine products at Butner 2. For $20, you can buy a bloody tampon. And this is what was going on. This guy who worked in the hospital, there was a bunch of different women, of course, a lot of nurses and stuff. He came up with the scam, is what it was, where he knew. I say scam. Let me hold on. He claimed to known who was ovulating when, or who was on the rag when, so he had their menstrual cycles timed, certain staff members. And what he would do is, so you've got guys that like different girls, you got guys that like big, huge, fat girls, you got guys that like little skinny ones, pretty ones, ugly ones, or some of them that really like the dirty tampons and pads from the ugly girls. That surprised me a bit, but this is what he did. He would tell guys, look, from such and such date to such and such days, this girl will be on the rag and I can get one of her tampons. So they would pick whose dirty tampon or pad they would get. Now, I call bullshit. There's no way that those guys all could have known, and I think he was just grabbing whatever he could. So let's say, for example, Miss H, and I'm just making this name up, was menstruating, and for 3 or 4 days, she came to work, and she was just flinging her dirty, nasty tampons and pads in the trash can. Do you think for 1 second that guy's not going to bag them up and say, well, this is this person, whoever you want to be. It can be whoever's used blood it wants to be. And that was a moneymaker for him. Again, $20, and he couldn't get enough of them. I had websites during this time and a Facebook page. And what I would do is I would send messages out via core links, which is the inmate computer system, to my approved contact. At the time, the person's name was Carly. She was in England. And I had her put on my Facebook wall, I think, something about women's used tampons or whatever, guys in prison. And people are like, what are they getting them for? Has anybody heard of dirty panties? There was a guy that has a prison show that actually talked about this the other day. I saw. I never actually. I think it was Marta that originally told me that Japanese people are really fond of dirty panties. That is, girls' dirty underwear, used underwear, whatever. Why would somebody want that? Why would somebody get women's dirty panties? As a person who was a young boy once, I can tell you that guys can be attracted to the thought of a woman's underwear, used underwear. Maybe it feels like you're getting closer to them if you sniff them or whatever the deal was. You can use them for sexual gratification. At an early age, I was broke of this. A friend's sister, it was that time of month for her, and I smelt it and it was horrible. That was it. Anyway, yeah, true story. It's the same. They're doing the same thing with the women's tampons and pads in prison. I will tell you that as somebody who was in prison for a long time, you do like the smell of or a scent of a woman, or there's a saying if a girl farts, you know, it's like love's in the air. I'm just saying, all this different stuff that people talk about in prison. What was it? Was it Midnight Express? Is that the movie where the guy was locked up and his girl came and he just wanted to see her boobs? He made him lift up her boobs and she was like mortified. You know, she like felt used like a piece of meat or whatever. And he was just going crazy. I think he started masturbating to it. But I get it. Like guys that have been done a lot of time get what was going on there. Likewise, a girl that hasn't been with the guy in a long time that comes to visit him in prison, want any kind of smell, they can. I'm not going to get too far into that. But when it comes to the feminine hygiene products, yeah. So that's what I didn't even, like, my first thought was like, what are they doing with them? You know, I wasn't even thinking when I found out. And when he told me, it made sense. But man, that's pretty nasty at the same time. Terrible. It wouldn't work for me. I can say that. But it was they were being sold like hotcakes, and that's the truth. Guy had a major hustle of women's dirty feminine products, hygiene product, whatever. And I just wanted to put that out there. I know this is probably a little gross, but it's something that I don't think you guys would hear much on prison channels. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. I also know that there was a girl that had a cold and was blowing her nose, and somebody wanted her snot. And yeah, and paid. I forgot what the person paid for that, but that was in FCI 1 Butner when that happened. Actually, a different, unrelated incident. But I don't know. You put women in men's prisons, and things happen, and I don't know what else to say about that. So, just thought I'd put this one out there. Women's dirty ass bathrooms in men's prison. Females, if you work in a prison or if you go visit people in prison, there's no reason to be that funky. I mean, really, I get that if you have kids and you go and you have to change them and stuff like that. And wow, I'm going to say this too. I can't believe the amount of rings in the toilet, brown rings. That was one of the things as an orderly in the LA County jail system that me and we used to trip out on. Like, I don't know if the guys like wiped the toilet or the rings. There was very few rings in the men, and the women's were just full of dirty rings. And in some of these bathrooms in prison, same thing. Nasty ass women, clean up after yourselves. I don't know what else to say. And do something with your tampons and used tampons and pads. I don't know if that's a health hazard or what. I don't know if you can get COVID from it, Anyway, or not, or let guys just do, or if you're working in prison, just throw them on top of the trash can. Let guys do it. What does it really matter, right? Anyway, happy Monday. Maybe you get this Tuesday. Whatever, we'll see. And if it is Monday, and I do put this out, and it goes out right now, I'm doing a live tonight, which I'm going to set up right now. Take care. And there's a story from Convict Inc.